My friends, you sit before me today at a crossroads. Behind you lies the territory of wishes, dreams, and good intentions. Ahead of you stretches the landscape of organized action, strategic planning, and systematic wealth creation. The question that burns before us is not whether you deserve riches, for every human being possesses that birthright. The question is whether you will master the disciplined art of wealth building or remain forever a spectator to your own potential. I have spent decades studying the minds of the most successful individuals who ever walked this earth. From Andrew Carnegie to Henry Ford, from Thomas Edison to John D. Rockefeller, I have dissected their methods, analyzed their strategies, and distilled their secrets into principles that can transform any ordinary individual into a master of financial destiny. Today, I share with you not theories, but battle-tested blueprints for wealth creation. Understand this fundamental truth. Wealth is not an accident. It is not a stroke of luck or a gift reserved for the chosen few. Wealth is the inevitable result of organized planning executed with unwavering persistence. You must abandon the fantasy that money will somehow find its way to you through chance or circumstance. Money flows to those who understand its laws and apply them with scientific precision. Your journey to wealth begins with a single, non-negotiable requirement. You must know exactly what you want and want it with the intensity of a drowning man gasping for air. Vague wishes produce vague results. Specific desires, backed by definite plans, produce specific wealth. Listen carefully to what I am about to tell you. The subconscious mind recognizes and acts only upon thoughts which have been well mixed with emotion or feeling. Your desire for wealth must transcend mere wanting. It must become an obsession, a consuming fire that burns away every doubt, every excuse, every retreat into comfortable mediocrity. Consider the story of a young man who came to me years ago, broke and desperate. He had lost his job, his savings, and nearly his hope. But when I asked him what he truly wanted, his answer was immediate and specific. I want to earn $50,000 within 2 years by creating a service that helps small businesses organize their finances. Not, I want money. Not, I want to be rich. But a precise, measurable objective with a deadline. This young man understood what most people never grasp. The subconscious mind requires specific instructions to produce specific results. Within 18 months, he had built a thriving consulting practice serving over 200 small businesses. His organized thinking produced organized results. Your first assignment is this: define your wealth goal with mathematical precision. Write down the exact amount you intend to accumulate. Set a definite date by which you will possess this money. Specify exactly what service or value you will provide in return for this wealth. Read this statement aloud twice daily, once upon awakening and once before retiring. As you read, visualize yourself already in possession of this money. Your subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between a real experience and one vividly imagined. When you consistently feed it clear, emotionalized pictures of your financial success, it begins to attract the people circumstances and opportunities necessary to make that vision reality. But here is where most people fail. They confuse hoping with planning. Hope without organized action is merely wishful thinking dressed up in fancy clothes. Your burning desire must be supported by definite plans and continuous action toward your goal. Wealth building is architecture, not accident. Just as no sensible person would construct a building without detailed blueprints, no intelligent individual should attempt to build wealth without organized plans. Your financial future depends not on luck, but on your ability to create and execute a systematic approach to money making. Every successful wealth builder follows the same fundamental process. They study their chosen field until they become experts. They identify specific opportunities within that field. They create detailed plans for capitalizing on those opportunities, and they execute those plans with unwavering persistence. This is not complicated, but it requires discipline that most people are unwilling to develop. Let me share with you the essential elements of any wealth building blueprint. First, you must choose your field of specialization. Wealth flows to specialists, not generalists. The master of one trade earns more than the apprentice of 10. Whether your specialty is real estate, technology, manufacturing, or service provision, you must know your field better than your competitors know theirs. Second, you must identify your unique advantage. What can you do better, faster, or more efficiently than others in your field? What knowledge do you possess that creates value for others? Your wealth will be directly proportional to the value you provide to the marketplace. The more valuable your service, the greater your financial reward. Third, you must create multiple streams of income within your area of expertise. The wealthy never depend on a single source of money. They build systems that generate income whether they are working or not. An employee trades time for money and can only earn while working. A wealth builder creates assets that produce income continuously. Consider this practical example. A man decides to specialize in helping small restaurants improve their profitability. His initial plan includes 3 income streams: consulting services for immediate income, a training course for scalable income, and a software tool for recurring income. Within his first year, he earns $50,000 from consulting. By year 2, his training course generates an additional $30,000 annually. By year 3, his software serves 200 restaurants, producing $40,000 in recurring revenue. This man understood a crucial principle. You must build assets, not just earn income. Assets continue producing money long after the initial work is completed. A job pays you once for your time. An asset pays you repeatedly for your initial effort. Your organized plan must include specific actions you will take daily, weekly, and monthly to build these income-producing assets. Without consistent action, the most brilliant plan remains worthless. Success comes to those who make wealth building activities as routine as brushing their teeth. Most people remain poor because they fundamentally misunderstand the nature of money. They see money as something to spend rather than something to multiply. They focus on earning rather than building. They think in terms of monthly income rather than lifetime wealth. This backwards thinking ensures they remain financially dependent for life. Money is not merely currency to be spent on immediate desires. Money is a tool for creating more money. Every dollar you possess can either consume your future or create it. When you spend $1 on unnecessary consumption, you lose not only that dollar, but all the dollars it could have produced through investment and reinvestment. The wealthy think differently about money. They see every financial decision through the lens of opportunity cost. Before making any purchase, they ask themselves, what else could I do with this money that would serve my long-term wealth-building goals? This simple habit of questioning every expenditure creates the foundation for systematic wealth accumulation. Let me illustrate this principle with concrete numbers. Suppose you spend $50 monthly on entertainment that adds no lasting value to your life. Over 10 years, that represents $6,000 in direct costs. But if that same $50 were invested monthly at a 10% annual return, it would grow to over $10,000. The true cost of that entertainment is not $6,000, but $10,000 plus all the additional wealth that money would have generated in subsequent years. This is why financial intelligence is more important than high income. I have known individuals earning $100,000 annually who live paycheck to paycheck, and others earning $30,000 annually who built substantial wealth. The difference was not their income, but their understanding of money's true purpose. Your financial education must include understanding cash flow, the difference between assets and liabilities, the power of compound interest, and the tax advantages available to business owners and investors. These concepts are not complex, but they are crucial. Most people spend more time learning to drive a car than they spend learning to build wealth, then wonder why they remain financially frustrated. Develop the habit of paying yourself first. Before you pay any bills, before you make any purchases, set aside a specific percentage of every dollar you earn for wealth, building purposes. Start with whatever you can manage, even if it is only 5%, but make this payment to yourself as automatic and non-negotiable as breathing. This money is not for emergencies. This money is not for future purchases. This money exists solely to create more money through investment in business, building activities. Treat this wealth-building fund as sacred, untouchable, except for genuine wealth, building opportunities. The fundamental difference between the wealthy and the poor is not their income, but their relationship with assets. Poor people work for money. Wealthy people make money work for them. This distinction determines whether you build wealth or remain forever trapped in the cycle of working for survival. An asset puts money in your pocket whether you work or not. A liability takes money out of your pocket. Most people confuse liabilities with assets and wonder why their financial situation never improves despite increased earnings. Your primary residence, your car, your boat, your recreational toys, These are liabilities disguised as assets. They consume money rather than produce it. True assets include rental properties that generate positive cash flow, businesses that operate profitably without your constant presence, stocks that pay dividends, bonds that produce interest, and intellectual property that generates royalties. Your goal must be to systematically convert your earned income into income, producing assets until those assets generate more money than your living expenses require. This process requires discipline and delayed gratification that most people are unwilling to exercise. While others spend their money on immediate pleasures, you must invest yours in future financial freedom. While others buy liabilities that make them poorer, you must buy assets that make you richer. Here is a practical framework for asset building. Divide your wealth building fund into 4 categories. 25% goes into cash reserves for opportunities and emergencies. 25% goes into conservative investments like dividend, paying stocks or bonds. 25% goes into moderate risk investments like mutual funds or real estate investment trusts. 25% goes into higher risk, higher return opportunities like starting a business or investing in emerging markets. This diversification protects you from catastrophic loss while ensuring you participate in wealth-building opportunities across different economic conditions. As your assets grow, you can adjust these percentages based on your risk tolerance and market conditions, but the fundamental principle remains: you must own things that produce money. The magic of asset building is compound growth. When your assets produce income and you reinvest that income to purchase more assets, your wealth grows exponentially rather than linearly. A linear progression grows by addition. 1 plus 1 equals 2. An exponential progression grows by multiplication. 1 times 2 equals 2. 2 times 2 equals 4. 4 times 2 equals 8. Einstein allegedly called compound interest the 8th wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it, he said. He who doesn't pays it. Most people pay compound interest on their debts while missing the opportunity to earn compound interest on their investments. Reverse this equation, and you reverse your financial destiny. The wealthy understand a principle that escapes most people. You cannot build significant wealth through your personal efforts alone. There are only 24 hours in a day, and your physical energy has limits. To create extraordinary wealth, you must learn to leverage other people's time, money, and expertise. Leverage comes in many forms, and mastering these forms distinguishes the wealthy from the merely well-paid. The first form is financial leverage, using borrowed money to purchase assets that produce more income than the cost of borrowing. Real estate investors understand this principle when they use mortgages to control properties worth far more than their available cash. But financial leverage requires caution and expertise. Borrowed money amplifies both gains and losses. Use leverage only when you thoroughly understand the risk and have multiple backup plans if your projections prove incorrect. Many fortunes have been lost by individuals who understood the potential rewards of leverage, but ignored its dangers. The second form is system leverage, creating processes and procedures that generate income without your constant attention. Franchise businesses exemplify this principle. The franchise owner creates a system that others can operate, generating income for the owner while providing value to customers and employment to workers. Your goal should be to systematize every aspect of your wealth-building activities. Document your processes, train others to execute them, and create quality controls that ensure consistent results. When your business can operate profitably without your daily involvement, you have created true wealth rather than merely another job. The third form is people leverage, building teams of individuals whose combined efforts produce more than you could accomplish alone. This requires developing leadership skills and the ability to inspire others to work toward common goals. The most successful individuals are not necessarily the hardest workers, but the most effective leaders. Time leverage involves using technology and automation to multiply your productive capacity. In today's digital economy, software can perform many tasks that previously required human effort. Identify repetitive aspects of your wealth-building activities and find ways to automate or streamline them. Knowledge leverage means using specialized expertise to solve problems more efficiently than your competitors. Continue learning throughout your career, but focus your deepest study on areas that directly impact your ability to create value and generate wealth. Remember this crucial point: leverage multiplies both success and failure. Before employing any form of leverage, ensure you have thoroughly tested your concepts on a smaller scale. Prove your system works before attempting to scale it dramatically. Every wealth-building journey includes setbacks, disappointments, and apparent failures. The difference between those who ultimately succeed and those who quit is not the absence of obstacles, but the presence of persistence backed by definite purpose. When you encounter temporary defeat, your response determines your destiny. Most people interpret temporary setbacks as permanent failures and abandon their wealth-building efforts just when success is within reach. They plant seeds, tend them for a few weeks, then abandon the garden when the harvest does not appear immediately. Wealth building requires the patience of a farmer combined with the persistence of a warrior. Consider the story of Colonel Sanders, who was broke at age 65 when he decided to franchise his chicken recipe. He was rejected over 1,000 times before finding his first partner. Most people would have quit after 10 rejections, convinced their idea had no merit. Sanders understood that rejection is not failure, but merely someone saying not now or not interested. When you encounter setbacks in your wealth-building journey, ask yourself these questions. What can I learn from this experience? How can I modify my approach to avoid similar problems in the future? What resources or knowledge do I need to acquire to overcome this obstacle? Is my goal still valid? Or do I need to adjust my target while maintaining my commitment to wealth building? Persistence does not mean stubbornly repeating failed strategies. Intelligence persistence means maintaining your commitment to your goal while remaining flexible about your methods. If your current approach is not producing results, modify your tactics without abandoning your objective. Develop the habit of reviewing your progress regularly, but resist the temptation to judge your success based on short-term results. Wealth building is a marathon, not a sprint. The actions you take today may not produce visible results for months or years, but compound consistently over time to create dramatic outcomes. Create multiple backup plans for achieving your wealth goals. If your primary strategy encounters obstacles, immediately implement your secondary approach without losing momentum. The wealthy always have alternative routes to their destinations. Surround yourself with other individuals who share your commitment to wealth building. The opinions and attitudes of your associates profoundly influence your own thinking and persistence. Distance yourself from negative individuals who discourage your financial ambitions, and seek out mentors and peers who support and challenge your growth. Keep detailed records of your wealth building activities and results. This documentation serves multiple purposes. It helps you identify which strategies produce the best results. It provides motivation during difficult periods by showing your progress, and it creates accountability for consistent action. Your thoughts about money and wealth create your financial reality more powerfully than your circumstances, your education, or your starting capital. If your thinking is programmed for poverty and limitation, no amount of opportunity will create lasting wealth. If your thinking is programmed for abundance and growth, you will find ways to create wealth even from modest beginnings. The poor think in terms of scarcity. There is not enough money, not enough opportunity, not enough time. This thinking creates behavior that perpetuates poverty. When you believe resources are limited, you compete desperately for small pieces of a shrinking pie instead of working to create bigger pies. The wealthy think in terms of abundance. There are unlimited opportunities to create value, unlimited ways to solve problems, unlimited potential for growth and expansion. This thinking creates behavior that generates wealth. When you believe resources can be created and multiplied, you focus on expanding possibilities rather than fighting over existing scraps. Your subconscious mind accepts as true whatever thoughts you consistently feed it. If you repeatedly think thoughts of financial struggle, your subconscious will find ways to make struggle your reality. If you consistently think thoughts of wealth and abundance, your subconscious will attract the opportunities and resources necessary to manifest that reality. This is not mystical thinking, but practical psychology. Your thoughts determine your actions. Your actions determine your habits. Your habits determine your character, and your character determines your destiny. Change your thinking about money, and you change your financial future. Replace thoughts of, I cannot afford it, with, how can I afford it? The first statement stops all creative thinking. The second statement opens your mind to possibilities and solutions. Replace thoughts of, money is hard to make, with, money flows to those who provide value. Replace thoughts of rich people are greedy with wealthy people you value, or society to thinking patterns of successful individuals in your field. Read their books, listen to their speeches, observe their decision-making processes. Notice how their thoughts about money, opportunity, and success differ from the thoughts of unsuccessful people. Practice gratitude for the wealth you currently possess, regardless of the amount. Gratitude opens your mind to receive more of what you appreciate. Resentment and envy about others' wealth close your mind to your own wealth, building opportunities. Visualize your financial goals as already accomplished. See yourself living in your ideal home, driving your preferred vehicle, managing your investment portfolio, enjoying the lifestyle your wealth provides. Make these mental pictures vivid and detailed. Experience the emotions you would feel when these goals become reality. Your subconscious mind works continuously to bring your dominant thoughts into physical reality. When you consistently hold clear mental pictures of wealth and success, backed by burning desire and organized plans, you set in motion forces that will materialize your vision. The ability to delay immediate gratification for long-term benefit separates the wealthy from the perpetually struggling. Every purchase decision is a vote for your future financial condition. When you choose immediate pleasure over future wealth, you vote for continued financial dependence. When you choose to invest rather than consume, you vote for eventual financial freedom. Most people are controlled by impulses and emotions when making financial decisions. They see something they want and find ways to justify purchasing it immediately. This pattern of instant gratification ensures they remain financially dependent because their money flows out rather than builds up. The wealthy have trained themselves to pause before every financial decision and ask, will this purchase move me closer to or further from my wealth-building goals? If the answer is further from, they either avoid the purchase entirely or find, but unless there's an alternative that meets their genuine needs without sabotaging their financial future. This does not mean living like a miser or denying yourself all pleasures. It means distinguishing between wants and needs, between assets and liabilities, between investments and expenses. It means making conscious choices about how you use your money rather than allowing unconscious habits to control your financial destiny. Develop the habit of waiting 24 hours before making any non-essential purchase over a predetermined amount. This waiting period allows the emotional impulse to subside and gives your rational mind time to evaluate whether the purchase supports your long-term financial goals. Create a list of your genuine needs versus your wants. Needs include food, shelter, transportation, and tools required for your work. Wants include entertainment, luxury items, status symbols, and convenience purchases. Meet your needs efficiently and affordably so you can invest the maximum amount in wealth-building assets. Practice finding creative ways to obtain what you want without spending money. Can you borrow it temporarily? Buy it used at a significant discount. Find a free alternative. Generate additional income specifically for this purchase. These mental exercises strengthen your financial discipline while often leading to better solutions than immediate purchases. Remember that every dollar you spend, consumption is a dollar that cannot compound and grow into future wealth. The wealthy understand that today's spending decisions determine tomorrow's financial options. They choose to live slightly below their means today so they can live far above their means in the future. The compound effect of consistent delayed gratification is extraordinary. Small sacrifices made consistently over years create enormous wealth building power. The person who invests $200 monthly instead of spending it on non-essential items will accumulate over $100,000 in 20 years at a reasonable rate of return. Your network determines your net worth more than any other single factor. The relationships you build, maintain, and nurture throughout your career will provide more opportunities, resources, and support than any amount of individual effort could generate. Successful wealth building is always a team sport. Most people approach networking with a selfish attitude. What can others do for me? This approach repels successful individuals and creates superficial relationships that provide little value. The wealthy approach networking with a service attitude. What value can I provide to others? This approach attracts successful people and creates deep relationships that generate mutual benefit. Your network should include several categories of relationship. Mentors are individuals who have achieved what you want to achieve and are willing to share their knowledge and experience. Peers are individuals at similar stages of development who can provide mutual support and accountability. Protégés are individuals you can mentor and teach, which deepens your own understanding while creating loyalty and gratitude. Industry experts possess specialized knowledge that can accelerate your learning and help you avoid costly mistakes. Potential partners have complementary skills or resources that can create joint venture opportunities. Customers and clients provide the revenue that funds your wealth-building activities. Service providers include attorneys, accountants, financial advisors, and other professionals who can handle specialized tasks more efficiently than you could manage yourself. Having relationships with competent professionals allows you to focus on your highest value activities while ensuring important details receive proper attention. Build your network systematically by attending industry conferences, joining professional associations, participating in community organizations, and connecting with alumni from your educational institutions. But remember that building relationships requires consistent effort over time. You cannot network only when you need something. Provide value to your network before asking for favors. Share useful information. Make introductions between people who should know each other. Offer your expertise to solve problems and celebrate other successes. The more value you provide to your network, the more value your network will provide to you. Maintain your relationships through regular communication, even when you do not need anything specific. Send articles relevant to their interests, congratulate them on achievements, invite them to events, and remember important dates in their lives. Strong relationships require ongoing investment of time and attention. Keep detailed records of your network contacts, including their interests, expertise, goals, and personal information. This documentation helps you identify opportunities to provide value and ensures you can quickly access the right person when specific needs arise. Your reputation within your network is your most valuable asset. Always deliver on your promises. Maintain strict confidentiality when required, and treat every relationship with integrity and respect. One damaged relationship can harm your entire network through word-of-mouth reputation effects. Knowledge without action is worthless. You can study wealth, building principles for years, create detailed plans, and understand every theoretical concept, but none of this creates actual wealth. Wealth comes only from consistent execution of organized plans backed by persistent action. Most people suffer from what I call analysis paralysis. They spend so much time planning, researching, and preparing that they never actually begin building wealth. They convince themselves they need more information, better conditions, or perfect timing before taking action. This perfectionist thinking is a disguise for fear and procrastination. The successful wealth builder understands that imperfect action produces better results than perfect inaction. You will never have all the information you want, conditions will never be ideal, and timing will never be perfect. You must begin with what you have, where you are, and learn through doing rather than waiting for imaginary perfect conditions. Create a bias toward action in all your wealth-building activities. When you identify an opportunity, give yourself a maximum of 72 hours to decide whether to pursue it. If you need more information, set specific deadlines for gathering that information. If you need additional resources, create concrete plans for obtaining them. But avoid endless analysis that prevents action. Break your wealth-building goals into small, specific actions you can complete daily. Daily action creates momentum, and momentum creates results. A person who takes small steps consistently will travel much further than someone who takes large steps occasionally. Track your daily wealth, building activities with the same precision you would track any other important aspect of your life. What gets measured gets managed, and what gets managed gets results. Create accountability systems that ensure you follow through on your commitments to yourself. Set weekly and monthly milestones that measure your progress toward your wealth-building goals. These intermediate targets help you stay motivated and allow you to adjust your tactics if you are not achieving the results you expected within reasonable time frames. Develop the discipline to work on your wealth, building activities during your peak energy hours, not as an afterthought when you are tired from other obligations. Treat your financial future with the same priority you give to your most important professional responsibilities. Create systems and schedules that make wealth building actions automatic rather than dependent on motivation or mood. Motivation fluctuates, but systems produce consistent results regardless of how you feel on any particular day. Remember that execution always reveals flaws in your plans that cannot be discovered through analysis alone. Be prepared to modify your strategies based on real-world feedback, but never abandon your commitment to building wealth because your initial approaches need adjustment. My friends, I have shared with you the fundamental principles that govern wealth creation. These are not theories or wishful thinking, but proven strategies distilled from decades of studying the most successful individuals in human history. The question now is not whether these principles work, but whether you will work these principles. You have two choices before you. You can leave this room unchanged, carrying these ideas as interesting concepts that you might implement someday when conditions are more favorable. If you choose this path, you will remain exactly where you are financially, wondering why others seem to prosper while you struggle. Or you can leave this room transformed, committed to implementing these wealth building principles starting today. If you choose this path, you begin immediately creating the organized plans and taking the systematic actions that will inevitably lead to financial independence. The moment you definitively decide to build wealth through organized effort, the entire universe conspires to help you achieve that goal. Opportunities appear that were invisible before. Resources become available that seemed impossible to obtain. People enter your life who can provide exactly the assistance you need. But this cosmic cooperation requires one non-negotiable element from you: unwavering commitment backed by consistent action. The universe helps those who help themselves through intelligent effort and persistent execution of definite plans. Your first action must be taken before you sleep tonight. Write out your specific wealth building goal with mathematical precision. Define exactly how much money you intend to accumulate and by what date. Specify what value you will provide to the marketplace in exchange for this wealth. Read this goal aloud and commit to reading it twice daily until it becomes your burning obsession. Your second action must be taken within 48 hours. Create your organized plan for achieving this wealth goal. Identify your field of specialization, your unique advantages, your target market, and your initial strategies for generating income. Set specific deadlines for each phase of your plan. Your third action must become a daily habit. Invest at least 30 minutes each day in wealth building activities. Study your field, contact potential clients or partners, work on developing your income, producing assets, or improve your financial knowledge. This daily investment will compound into extraordinary results over time. Remember this fundamental truth: every day you delay beginning your wealth building journey is a day that could have been compounding in your favor. Time is your most valuable asset in wealth creation because it allows the magic of compound growth to work its miracles. You cannot recover lost time, but you can begin making the most of your remaining time starting now. The wealthy are not born with special abilities or advantages that you lack. They are ordinary people who made extraordinary commitments to systematic wealth building and maintained those commitments despite obstacles and setbacks. What they have accomplished, you can accomplish if you are willing to pay the price in disciplined effort and persistent action. Your financial destiny is not determined by your current circumstances, your past failures, or the opinions of others. Your financial destiny is determined by the decisions you make and the actions you take from this moment forward. Every day brings new opportunities to move closer to financial independence or to remain trapped in financial dependence. The choice is yours, and the time is now. Will you join the ranks of those who build systematic wealth through organized planning and persistent action, or will you remain among those who hope for financial improvement while taking no definite steps to achieve it? The principles I have shared with you today have created more millionaires than any other wealth building system in human history. They will work for you if you work with them, but they cannot work for you if you do not work with them. Your wealth building journey begins with a single step, but that step must be taken. Take it now. Take it today. Take it with the confidence that you possess everything necessary to achieve financial independence through intelligent application of proven principles. The blueprint is before you. The choice is yours. The time is now. Begin.